Good evening, and thank you, beautiful women, for showing up here with me again this week. And so we can talk about our women's health and lifestyle. And so we are going to continue on our topic called menopause, flash, and flourish. And this is going to be our next installment. There's still some more things to talk about our after menopause, postmenopausal topic, but we are going to move this week, as I've promised, 2 weeks in a row, to peri or premenopause and share with our younger sisters who are starting to go through the changes. That may include flashes, but like I say, you can still flourish. And so, a little late on the video this week, I had a couple of family things to enjoy yesterday. And one of the things that happens in the season in your life as you mature, emotionally, and as you mature physically and mature spiritually and in every area of your life, is that you start learning where to put your priorities. And so one of the things I want to encourage you, whether you're premenopause, perimenopause, or any stage in life, is figure out what is important to you, where your priorities lie. Line them up, and when activities come up, you will know how to line them up according to where what your priorities are. And at the same time, be present and be fully engaged and happy and joyful in what you choose to do, because you know it aligns with your priorities. So I generally do my videos on Saturday evening. It's going to be Sunday evening today, and the reason being, like I said, aligned with my priorities. In my case, mine are God first, family second, and everything else third, including my wonderful career. And I love spending time with you all, but including sharing and spending time with you all. But I won't miss out. I'm here. So this week, I'm going to try to make the video shorter. I am trying to keep these videos no longer than 5 to 6 minutes. Reason being, it's hard to take in a lot, right? Last week's video was about 10, 11 minutes. I know it's a lot of good, wonderful information, but sometimes when we have too much, it's hard to take in. So we're going to do small bites weekly and small bits of pearls every week, and hope that you will benefit from this information, because that's my whole reason to do it, right? Like I said, I spend my days with women doing women's health, and I hear all the concerns that my sisters are going through, and so I want to and I've been there with you. So I want to share with you what's worked for me. And then if there's those of you out there who have had things that work for you, please pack them on here, share them in the comments, so that we can help each other move through every season of our lives with joy, with grace, and with well-being. All right, so peri and premenopause. This is the season before menopause. Those two words, you might hear them flying around here and there differently, but really in reality, they are the same season. This is a season before menopause. And for some women, that comes a little earlier. On average, mostly about 45 or after, but you can be younger than that and still start experiencing these symptoms. And they look a lot like menopause itself, in terms of, except they're not persistent symptoms, right? They're things that come, go, kind of show up and leave. And you have a period of not feeling the best, or you may have a flashes are the most common, right? You might have some hot flashes and then it goes away, and then it comes back again, but enough to make you know that something's going on. This season is marked physically by a change in the hormone levels. So the ovaries kind of get, in layman language, lazy. So they have periods where they work really well, and then periods where they're a little bit lazy, and estrogen production is either high or low. And so different symptoms come. Some of those symptoms, again, hot flashes, agitation, mood changes, palpitations for some people, feeling really like I just can't control myself, aggression, sometimes more the other opposite side of that, depression, sadness, changes in your skin, changes in your sleep. So all those things, changes in libido, your sex drive, vaginal dryness, all the things that we talked about in menopause can happen in the peri and premenopausal period. However, you are still having periods. One of the things that does happen for some women, and one of the first things that happens, is a change in the menstrual pattern. So sometimes changes in flow, changes in cycles, and when those cycles come, sometimes 2 cycles per month, sometimes skipping months, sometimes just random periods, right? However, I want you to know one of the things is that you do not need treatment in this period if you are not having symptoms. Um, if you are one of those people who prefer to be treated ahead of time so that you can ensure that you don't go through this miserable stage or these highs and lows, that is totally okay if your health allows that. And like I always say, talk to your own healthcare practitioner, because what's safe for one person is may not be safe for another person. And I will talk about some things there that need to be examined. So if you are one of those people who are going through pre and perimenopause, one of the things I get asked a lot is people come to the office and say, um, I want to check my hormone levels. I want you to know that you do not need to have your hormones checked to know that you are in peri or premenopause, okay? Even in menopause, we as healthcare professionals are treating symptoms. We're not treating your stage or your season. So whether or not you are still having periods or haven't had that period for 1 year, there's no need to check hormones. We're not checking levels. I know that there are clinics out there that check hormone levels and give you hormones based on levels. I want you to know that that's probably the reason, and likely the reason your insurance doesn't pay for it is it's not necessary. And it's also not necessary for you to be spending finances doing that. You can spend those finances on your treatment and on other fun things to make the season beautiful for you. So no need to be checking hormones. Talk to your healthcare professional about your symptoms and they will do that for you. Another thing I would like to mention, if you are a woman on birth control pills, the patch or the ring, you do not need those hormones checked. Your hormones are being balanced by those combined hormone methods, and so you are getting estrogen from those, and so whatever symptoms you are having are not related to hormonal changes. Not that your ovaries aren't having hormonal changes, but you are being managed by those already, and so you do not need to have your hormones checked. They will come within normal limits, okay? And so if you are having symptoms and are on any of those methods of hormones, then ask your healthcare provider. They may need to be changed. Or the other thing is that you may have other things going on, right? Things, there's stress, food, exercise, vitamin deficiencies, all those things that can also cause other symptoms, mimic those symptoms. So don't ask or to educate you, there's no need to have your hormones checked if you're already on hormones, meaning combined hormones, estrogen and progesterone. And then let's go back now to those of us who are not on hormones or maybe on a progesterone only hormone, things like an IUD, a Mirena IUD, a Paragard IUD, no hormone at all, or you are on progesterone only pills, or Depo-Provera, or also Nexplanon. Those things, yes. You're not getting any estrogen in any of those methods, and so the estrogen changes from your ovaries could be causing perimenopausal and menopausal symptoms. And so for you, your treatment would be estrogen in any of the forms that I talked about last week. So pill, patch, um, you can have combined hormones pills or patch or gels, just or vaginal rings, vaginal creams, just like it would be for your sisters in menopause. Also, if you prefer to be one of those people who want to be more natural, any of your over-the-counter estrogen supplements that are out there will give you short-term relief. I've also heard oregano pills help with menopausal symptoms, and foods that have a so high soy content. Soy does have some estrogen properties, and so those are also helpful. Like women who are in menopause, our beautiful sisters in menopause, time to pick up a good healthy diet. You will start seeing those changes in your body, mid-abdominal fat, weight gain, that slow weight gain. So start picking up a good healthy diet, exercise. And one of the things I don't think I mentioned last week, but I will mention this week, because in menopause and in perimenopause, premenopause, and in menopause, many women with that menopausal weight gain, one of the factors is that even though it's hormonal, how that hormone affects you has a lot to do with your genetics. What happened for your women in your family, either on your father or your mother's side. And so a lot of it we don't have control over, right? And so unless you're the person who's counting calories in the gym every day, for some of of us, it's still a challenge. And some women, including myself, choose to use GLP-1 therapy. We've heard about it from Oprah, Serena, all the people out there already using them in a low dose, or for some people, they need a higher doses. That does help with this perimenopausal, premenopausal, menopausal weight gain. And they are safe drugs depending on where you're getting from, and in most markets. So I would verify my source. Um, and with that, I am going to stop today because there's so much to say, and I probably will end up at 11 minutes again. But product highlight this week, I want to share with you callous feet. People who are on their feet a lot, you end up with callous feet. Here's something I love. Again, I get this from Amazon. It really does help with removing callus, and keeping your feet nice and smooth and soft and pain free. Soak in Epsom salt and then apply some of this. Let it dry before you cover your feet. Try it. And that is all for this week. We will pick up again next week because there's so much more to say on this topic and this season in life. Meanwhile, go out, have a great week, and make it a great week. And also, I ask you, like, subscribe. I will continue to bring you more content, whether you do or not. I am going to continue to bring you more content because I know that this is a special season. Have a great week. Bye.